Here we go. We're good. Just a second, Cisco.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. This is Leadership Live. It is good to have you with us. We've had a few technical difficulties here, so we're a little late getting to you, but it's good to finally be with you. I'm Cisco Cotto, a teaching pastor based at our Sugar Grove campus. I'm going to introduce everyone, but first I'm going to give you the phone number that you can use to text us your questions. Anything you want to ask, text it in 630-283-7600, 630-283-7600. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, you can also just type your questions down in the comments section. We have someone monitoring that, and we'd love to find out what is on your mind. Jeremy Anderson is here. He's the campus pastor at our Indian Creek campus. Steve Lombardo is here. He's the campus pastor at our Plano campus. Tim Bedall, our lead pastor, is here, along with Keith Duff, our executive pastor.
Hey.
Good to have you here, fellas. Let's begin, and I don't know, throw this at you, Tim. How about last night, praise in the parking lot?
Yeah, last night was an outstanding time, way beyond anything we were expecting. We had big dreams about it and hopes of really kicking off our summer of celebration. And what a great way to start. First of all, phenomenal weather. My goodness, it couldn't have been a nicer night. Thank the Lord for giving us just a beautiful night to enjoy. It hats off to all of our staff and volunteers parking all the cars everywhere but the parking lot so that we would have space to have ability to worship and have social distancing. And everything I've seen via social media, everybody had an absolute phenomenal time. And if you missed it, you did miss something great. And the great thing is we're going to talk tonight about some of the great things we've got in store. And so this is just a preview of what we're wanting you to do. I'll tell you this, Cisco, one of our neighbors at the Sugar Grove campus called the church office this morning, talked to Carrie in the office and said, hey, I'd like to know what was going on last night. And she was genuinely prepared for an angry phone call. And the neighbor said, are you guys going to do that again? What an awesome night. We sat on our back deck and we sang and we listened. And he said, what an amazing night. So what we thought might have been some noise violations was well received by some of our neighbors. It was a great night. I know guys are going to share more about it, but what a phenomenal night. You know, at the beginning of the quarantine, we were talking about whenever we get back together, we want to get back together, not limping or anything, but with a great night. And the Lord gave us the greatest of nights to get back together and to enjoy the fellowship of God's people. It was outstanding.
Yeah, as you were walking around and mingling with people, I'm interested, the rest of you guys, we'll start with Steve, just some of the feedback that you got from people about being able to gather together to assemble and worship like this.
Oh, it was beautiful. You know, some of the reports of other get-togethers and other churches happening. God bless them. It's a strange kind of a feeling. There was no strangeness last night, and those who wanted to remain maybe masked or a little bit more distance could do so. Those who wanted to get a little closer could do that, and just really enjoy that time because we're outside, and it was like a party. I saw somebody said, Ravinia? No, not Ravinia. This is my church. And they posted a pic of Josh Cater soloing on his guitar. So it was pretty cool. And Tim thanks everybody. He thanked everybody. I want to thank Tim for bringing the message. It was praise God for a great message, and on the shorter side, and I really appreciated that. So it was a great time.
Yeah, it did kind of have that Ravinia vibe, didn't it, to it, with everyone just hanging out, enjoying the music and talking with each other. And it was pretty cool. Jeremy, how about you? What kind of feedback are you getting?
I was with the parking crew. So at the end of the night, when everyone was getting ready to leave, we heard lots of people saying, man, this was the best, so glad that it happened. And some people are like, I would not have missed this for anything. And yeah, I would agree with that. I loved it. And in my opinion, it was one of the best things that we've done as a church in a long time. And I had a great that was the first time my wife and I were able to take our little baby out, introduce him to some people. So that was kind of cool. We loved getting to see people again. And it almost felt like we didn't even skip a beat. So what a blessing. It was great.
Hey, Keith, how about you? I know I saw you and several of the other guys praying with people near the end of the service. Really good opportunity to do that. We haven't really had an opportunity to do that in a while.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity to pray. It was neat to see some people come forward, some people with heavy hearts for a variety of things, and great to be able to pray with them. It was a little challenging in front of the speakers to pray and be heard, but it was good to be with people and to do that. And I heard there and over the course of the end of the evening, several people say, man, this is exactly what I needed. And so, and some of them said, I don't think I realized how much I needed this. And just to be together with God's people, with the church family, and to celebrate God's goodness, it was really, really great.
I got some people already texting us, and you can see the number on your screen there. It's also, I'll just tell you, 630-283-7600. Or if you're watching on Facebook Live, just go ahead, and any questions or comments, you can put those in the comments section on Facebook Live. A few of the comments coming in here and questions as well. Bruce is writing us, best night ever. I can't say thank you enough. Felt like a piece of heaven. We have Gretchen here. Praise and thanks for a great evening last night. So much work we can't imagine, and there certainly was a lot of work that went into that. A lot of thanks given last night, and we'll continue doing that. So great to hear and sing in Spanish again. Really encouraging stuff here. And Tim, I know you did. You thanked a lot of folks last night for everything that they did, because there was a lot of work. I mean, we're not looking for thanks here or anything among our staff, but I mean, there's a lot of people that deserve a shout out.
Yeah, I mean, they did a phenomenal job as we were watching. I think I was telling you, Cisco, as we were standing in the parking lot, it's a fine tuned machine, and that has nothing to do with me or anyone else. It has to do with just the great team. Phil Chapman did a lot of the organizing and planning of our night, and it was just awesome. People were welcomed as soon as they got in, parked, like I said, all over the place. And to just be able to sing and praise God, and to get to what we love to do at Village, and that's worship the Lord, was really a great thing. And so what a great first night. We recognize that not everybody's going to be able to make these events for different reasons. And so we want to continue to invite people and encourage people to be a part of our Village at Home. We want that to be a unifying factor in the days to come. But we're going to be using these Sunday nights as an opportunity for those who are willing and able to join us for some evening events on Sunday night. We'll be talking about those in the moments to come.
Yeah, we're going to tell you about some other ways that we're going to be gathering, and some people really want to get back inside to worship, especially some folks maybe with mobility challenges, just want to be able to come in and sit down and enjoy a service that way. We'll tell you about that in just a moment, but we want to talk to you about this upcoming Father's Day opportunity, Dad's DriveIn. Jeremy, tell us about this chance for people to get together and hang out again.
Yeah, so coming up this Sunday, we got another opportunity to get the church together. This one's going to be a little different, though. It's at each of the campuses. So there'll be a Dad's Driving at Sugar Grove, Dad's Driving in Aurora, Plano, and Indian Creek, and El Camino's doing stuff with or as well. So it's going to be a great time. 10:30 to 11:30 this Sunday, and it is a drive-in, not a drive-through. So that means we're encouraging you to come, park your car, hang out for a little bit, talk to some people. You know, we've got hot dogs, chips, and Dad's root beer for everyone who shows up. It's going to be really a great time. So I really want to invite you to come on out for that, spend some time with the church family. Then we got some giveaways for dads as well. So grand prize going to be in a nice grill. So we've had lots of people getting excited about that. I think it's going to be a great afternoon. So, or I guess it would be morning, right? 10:30, 11:30, just a short hour on Sunday morning. So love to have you come on out and enjoy some time with us.
Well, do we get kicked out at 11:30, Keith? How does that? Because maybe we could make it go until the afternoon. I don't want to cause any problems.
I think we could, Cisco. I think it could go on into the afternoon. That'd be just fine. Just like last night, we had people hanging around. The second set of music ended at 9 o'clock, but people were here till 10 o'clock, and that was okay. You know, it was great.
Okay, so this Sunday at each of the campuses, starting at 10:30, from 10:30 to 11:30, and let's emphasize, like Jeremy did, the drive-in nature of this. It is not. I mean, if you need to go, that's fine too. You know, get your hot dog and your root beer, and you can head on out. But don't feel that you have to. We want you to be able to just park your car. If you got a lawn chair, get out, sit on it, hang out, and really just enjoy. Praying that we have good weather again this Sunday, like we did yesterday. And again,
what are they gonna? Hey, Cisco, what are they gonna get when they get there? I mean, so people can be planning. I know we've shown pictures of hot dogs on the grill. Maybe Steve can talk a little bit about what it's gonna involve, so people are aware of what to expect when they show up.
You're the caterer, right? You know what the description of the food is. I'm my mouth's watering. If I start to talk about it right now, I'm gonna have to leave and go grab some food, because we got those all beef hot dogs, and we got the chips and Dad's root beer, the little condiment packets to go with it, so you can have your food right there. And if people want to have a little picnic in the parking lot, we had praise in the parking lot last night. Little picnic in the parking lot. That's beautiful. It'll be a fun thing. One of the things that we wanted to do with it is to try to include all of our people as much as we could, including those ones who are a little bit hesitant. They're not getting out. Their immune systems compromised at some level, but they still want to see people, and they still want to come to church and to drive in, like we said, and like Cisco, you said too, it's okay to not stay too long and to go out, but for the rest who can come and stay and enjoy that time of fellowship, we want to build that on a Sunday morning, and I can't wait to do it.
Going to be a good one this Sunday. Any sort of RSVP necessary, or just come on in?
Yeah, we're asking everyone to RSVP. You can do it online, or you can text in, I think it's Dad, to the number that you can text these questions in. And Cisco, I think you may have that number you can share with people again. But 630-283-7600. Right now, you can text Dad to that number, and we'll get you whatever information you need to be able to RSVP. You can also go to the website. You see it right there, villagebible.church/dad. Love to see you there. We have a bunch of hot dogs, a bunch of root beer, so don't be shy. Come on out. We look forward to seeing you at each of the campuses on Sunday morning. Let's talk about these services, because there's people, we got someone texting in here. Last night was like the 4th of July. We didn't even need any fireworks. Just being together was enough. People are excited to be back with their church family, and the doors aren't exactly open yet. We're not back to normal, or even whatever the new normal is, but we are going to start holding in-person services on Sunday evenings. Keith, why don't you give us some of the nuts and bolts of that so people can know when and what they can expect?
Sure. June 28th, so that's 2 Sundays from now, we'll start our evening services. Those will be at 6:30 across the campuses, and will be a little different than a normal Sunday morning service. They'll include a message, which will be a little bit shorter than normal. They'll include music and all the normal components, but it'll just be shorter and a little bit different. And we're going to be working through the month of July in the evening. Some of the nights will be outside, some will be inside. We'd really like to be outside as much as possible. We're working on trying to secure some larger tents to be able to do that at each campus. We recognize that people are more comfortable outside, and it's summertime. It's nice and it's fun to be outside, and so we'll see. But we're preparing to be inside as well as we need to do that. And so 6:30 Sunday evenings, and then actually this first one on June 28th, we're going to add an after party, just like we did last night after the time of praise. We had a second time to gather for people who wanted to hang out a little bit longer, and we're going to do that on the June 28th as well. And the idea there is campfire, right, Tim? So campfire, what's that look like?
Yeah, so our hope is after the service, we'll head out to the parking lot or to some of the grassy areas that we have at each of our campuses and have some campfires all ready to go. And we're going to invite you to bring a cooler of drinks. And we're thinking about getting all kinds of s'more opportunities for people to roast some marshmallows and just enjoy some time around the campfire. Again, trying to do it within social distancing guidelines, but in light of what we saw yesterday, we're hearing more and more of how much people would love just to have some casual interaction outside. And we're going to utilize the summer for all of that. And like we said, if last night was a preview, which we believe it is, of what's going to come, this may be one of the best summers Village Bible Church has experienced in a long, long time.
I think it was last week that Jack from the Aurora campus made the comment that the Aurora campus is ready for the campfires because they have built-in fire pits in the parking lot throughout right now. So, we're moving forward with getting that fixed. But right now, we have the built-in fire pits. So that's pretty cool.
Not for long, though. We'll update the building stuff in just a couple of minutes. Do it while you can, Aurora. One of the things that I really appreciated last night was the fact that you had everyone sort of come as they were comfortable. No sort of judgment, criticism, dirty looks, anything like that. Some people no mask, some people in a mask, some people shaking hands, some people doing an elbow or a fist bump or no contact at all. Some people sitting way off kind of by themselves. And it was wonderful to be able to have an environment where the church family could come together and just say, however you're comfortable to be here, we're just glad that you're here. Don't worry about it. Just come as you are. I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Yep. And it was neat to see, some people stayed back at their cars, kept some distance. I know one family that's got a father who's more susceptible, more at risk. They stayed at their car and worshiped from there. Some others were on the fringes, and others were right up front and center with everybody. So it gave people a chance to kind of choose where they felt most comfortable, which was great.
Tim, I'll ask you about the limits here because there's a question coming in about the 10-person limit. It's sort of, I guess, challenging here because if I understand right, the governor has lifted all restrictions on churches. But he just sort of has these recommendations for keeping people safe. Kind of talk about the nuance there.
Yeah, so the recommendations of the governor and some of the medical authorities have articulated what they would love to see churches do is what we did exactly last night. And that is to be outside in large areas where you can create social distancing. It's hard to imagine. We could have probably doubled the amount of people in our parking lot and still done social distancing yesterday. And so that's why we want to do a lot more outside where we're able to, because it just frees up a lot of the space. And as Keith was talking about, some of the weirdness of having to do services inside aren't as limiting if you go outside. And so we're leaning into the summer, the warm weather, the pleasant times, especially on a Sunday evening, and just wanting to take care of that. So even if we were to be inside, we have guidelines that we've got to work through. It's not the 10-person guideline for churches. What they ask for is social distancing. And so at each of our campuses, we will be working through that and fleshing that out. We will be asking people to RSVP like they did last night so that we can be ready and there's no surprises, and we're able to achieve all of the guidelines that we've been asked to do so that everybody can be comfortable comfortable, whether indoor, outdoor, whatever activity we're doing, that we can keep everybody safe and everybody unified. Like you said yesterday, everybody was at a different place, and that was okay, because it was just great to be in the same spot, experiencing the same thing. And so we really feel confident that we're well within the guidelines of what the state and our local authorities are asking us to do.
So, Keith, June 28th, we're talking about evening services at our campuses. Help us to understand, though, what this looks like for the summer. I mean, it's not going to be every Sunday night, right? I mean, it's kind of help us to see through the next couple of months. You're on mute, Keith.
There we go.
There we go.
Let me put a slide up here that shows you the schedule for the summer. We've talked about this the last couple of weeks, but here we've got June, July, August through the end of the year. And you can see step one is where we've been at and where we're at right now. But starting June 28th, we'll be in that step 2, evening services. But during that time, our online services will continue, right? They'll continue throughout the rest of this year. And so what we've been doing, either on Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday evening, you can continue to do it. Encourage everybody to participate in that is the primary thing. Continue to participate in your small group as a second primary thing. And then these evening services are, extra, if you will, for those who are ready to be out together, worshiping and spending some time together. And then step 3, Sunday morning services. So starting in August, we'll switch those in-person gatherings to be on Sunday mornings. And so working through that, all these will be family oriented. Families are all welcome, but there won't be children's ministry provided during the month of July and August. We hope to start that up in September in step 4. And so, but we're trying to make things casual enough so that if you've got a 2-year-old, you'd still be comfortable bringing that child with you, 6-year-old or 13-year-old or whatever the age may be. So working through that and really trying to make it available and accessible to everybody.
So June 28th, is that the evening services? Is that an every week thing? Is that every few weeks?
Every week.
Make sure we understand. Okay.
Yep. June 28th is a Sunday, so that'll be the first evening service, and that'll continue through the month of July. And then August, we'll communicate exactly which Sunday, but probably that first Sunday in August, we'll switch from evening to morning services. So, but yep, so that'll be every week.
So can I ask a question, Cisco? Can I ask a question of you?
No.
Well, I'm going to anyway. Why not just do Sunday morning services, Cisco? I know someone's going to ask that question. Why are we doing what we're doing this way?
Well, I believe what we're trying to do. See, now I'm on the spot. If I gave the
That's all right. Yeah, I just figured, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Go ahead, man.
Get this one wrong. Don't get this one wrong.
No, if I give the wrong answer here, I'm gonna.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna do great. I have confidence.
Leadership Live here. Here's what we want to do. We want Sunday mornings to still have all of our church cohesive, unified, together, worshiping the Lord. And then what we want on Sunday evenings is something that's a little different for people who are comfortable coming back together, worshiping, whether it's indoors or maybe even outdoors. We want to be able to slowly but surely roll that out. And I think one of the things that our church has done a great job of is thinking through the safety issues, how to do it with proper social distancing. And so having these Sunday evening services will allow us to do that as well, to not necessarily just go gung-ho right at the beginning, but to be able to slowly work this out while continuing to provide the really, really excellent Sunday morning worship opportunity for the people at all of our campuses. Is that the talking points? Did I get that right?
Good job.
Unbelievable. I think that's good. Would anybody else add anything to it while I give good time to re-host this thing?
It was a great job, Cisco, answering that. But if I may, just add a little tidbit. Somebody said to me, "Oh, why aren't you guys opening?" The answer is we are open. Our offices are open all throughout the week. We are getting together. We're not open in exactly the same way before the virus. I think the virus has changed everything for the time being in some ways. But we are having that Sunday morning, like you said, stay the same. But on top of that, we're still having our own Sunday evening services, and I think having a blast doing it. And so if you are a fan of worshiping the Lord, you've got some extra services. You can make sure you hit Sunday morning, the online live broadcast. you can hit the Sunday night. Our youth is meeting Wednesday night at Plano campus. We've got some things in the works planned coming up there. Somebody asked about our search for a youth pastor. Yes, we are still searching for a youth pastor, and that's going to be amped up now as we come out of the last couple of months. So we're just looking forward to. We are open. It's not exactly the same, but we're looking forward to getting together with everybody in the coming weeks.
Got a couple questions here about these services. One, Keith, when we get to the point again where we are doing Sunday services, do we know how many we're going to have? Is that campus specific? What does that look like? We're talking the early on services here, not September.
Yeah, so August, Sunday morning in August. And yeah, that's a good question. We will do RSVP for that, and we'll find out who's ready to be here on Sunday mornings. And that'll dictate the number of services. And we'll know at that point if we're outside, inside, what that looks like. And really, to echo some of what Steve said, part of the reason for doing things different is because we want to give people a chance to come out. And if you've been, or if you've talked to somebody who's been to church on Sunday morning here in the area or out of state, some of our staff has attended churches here in the area and out of state. And Sunday morning is it's not what people are expecting it to be, especially with the social distancing and inside. And so that's why doing something on Sunday evening, if we can move it outside, gives an opportunity to be together in a different format and to have fun with it. And so when we get to August and we shift back to Sunday morning, we'll have services to accommodate the people. Interestingly, if you look at churches in the western suburbs that have started back up, the percentage of attendance compared to normal is really low. 15 to 25% of a normal Sunday attendance is there. And that's what I've heard from several churches here in the area. And so they're trying to figure out how to do things different. In some ways, felt like they started too quick because the people's response initially was, we're ready to be back. But then, 15 to 25% are back. So we think that by starting up slow and doing things different in the evenings, I think by the time we get to August, we'll have a lot more than 25% ready to be back. And we'll see what that looks like, but we'll be ready to roll.
Now, a question for Tim. Is there a chance at the Sugar Grove campus that we will continue with Sunday morning and Sunday evening services where you are doing two separate sermon series at the same time? Is there a chance that will be the new normal?
Yeah, probably not. But I don't know if there's anybody that actually wants to hear me preach twice on a Sunday. So I think that's a trick question. But whoever that is, and I didn't see that question come through, so I'm not sure how to respond to that. But if people are willing to listen to me twice, I'll preach twice if they want. I'm willing to do whatever the church wants me to do. But I'm being told you made that up.
No, I'm looking there. No, it's definitely on my screen here somewhere. I don't know who it's just. It's just there's no name.
I don't know, but you've been preaching two messages every Sunday for a long time, Tim, and I'm usually here for both services if I'm in Sugar Grove. I don't see many people sticking around for both services, so I think Tim might be right.
We'll see. We'll see. That was me kissing up to the boss there, saying I'd like to hear you twice. That's what that was. Let's talk about building updates here, fellas, because there are some changes already going on with the All-In campaign. Not everything, but there are some things moving forward. Who wants to start us there? Keith, you want to start us on kind of a thumbnail of what's going on?
Sure. Yeah, we're moving forward. So Sugar Grove campus for this week is the sanctuary project is beginning. And if you were here yesterday, all of our sound equipment was outside, and that was phase one of moving stuff out and making it portable so we can be outside or we can be in the gym. And so a lot of work by our AV team went into that. So hats off to them. And now it's flexible. And if you look in the sanctuary in the coming days, you're going to see a place that's under construction because lots is happening in there so that we can convert that space and make it more functional and social distancing and ongoing from a long-term standpoint as well. So that's underway. Permits have been submitted for the Aurora campus, and we'll start with the parking lot there as soon as possible. But the way that city process works and reviews, that's probably not going to happen until August or September, but as soon as they give us the go-ahead, we'll move forward, working through the plans, trying to finalize plans at the Plano campus with what's the most important priority there. We've had some snags along the way with the city requiring some things we didn't expect. And so trying to make sure our priorities fit the needs of the campus. And so working through that really right now, and hoping to get to a permitting point here in the coming weeks. And Indian Creek campus, moving forward with projects there to do some updates that we've been planning for that campus as well. So all in process, phase one. So it's pretty cool. Great timing, and God just really blessed. I just want to say thanks to all those who are listening, and the church family that's not, because it's your faithfulness and giving the commitments that you made back in December, and some have stepped on to commit newly. Maybe there were some that weren't able to do that in December who have stepped on board in these last couple months and weeks. And so it's your faithfulness that's allowing us to move forward and address the needs in some very unique ways that we didn't anticipate back in December. And yet it's neat to see how God puts the pieces and the people and the resources together to do that. So pretty cool.
Yeah, and an opportunity when people are not in the church buildings to do a little, but not everything. I mean, it's not like snap your fingers and whenever we come back in a few weeks, just everything is going to be taken care of. It's not quite that simple.
It's not quite that simple, but moving forward, so it's good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, it is good. I'm looking here. Let's see. Mike is writing in, bring the word Tim. So I think, there's a movement for 2 separate sermon series with Pastor Tim Bedell. I'm not the only one. All right, fellas. Well, this is where, as the host, I go, I don't have anything else. So is there something? I'm supposed to end this a little more smoothly, but I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything before I ask Jeremy to pray us out here. Anything else that we should remind people of?
Just come out on Sunday. Let us know you're coming out for the Father's Day drive-in. It's going to be a great time, and it won't take up too much time from your Father's Day celebrations, but another great opportunity for us to get together with our church at each of our campuses. And again, I really am looking forward to this. It's going to be a great summer. And so join us when you can, and it's going to be a blast.
I saw that Scott from the Sugar Grove campus asked about a bags tournament. Now, he might have been asking about that during the campfire night on June 28th, but it would also work this coming Sunday too. So, Tim, Sugar Grove campus, any bags tournaments for the Dad's Day?
I think we're going to plan something for the 28th. I know we were talking about that in our Sugar Grove staff meeting. So,
okay. Sounds good.
Hey, Cisco, we had this last week, a dear woman of God go to be with the Lord last week, and she was a longtime member at Plano Bible Church and played the organ for decades. And so June Westbrook went to heaven last week, and we have the funeral this week. And so thanks for praying for the Westbrook family. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. All right, Jeremy, why don't we ask you to pray us out here, brother?
Everything. Let's pray, guys. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you just for the great blessing that yesterday was to gather together in person again. We got to lift your name high in praise, hear a great message from Tim, and enjoy fellowship with one another as believers. So we thank you for that. We thank you for the weather that you provided us with. And Lord, we look forward to more of it. We look forward to gathering together throughout these summer months, and we trust that you'll continue to lead us and guide us as we make those opening decisions and with the time frames and everything. And Lord, we're just thankful to be able to be part of a church that is so great as Village. We love the people that we get to serve and do life with, and what a blessing it is to call Village Bible Church our home. Lord, thank you for this evening and chance we've had to chat and share some of the plans and thoughts that we've had going on. We ask you to be honored in everything that comes up this summer, that this would be a summer that we look back on as a church and say, what a summer. God was glorified, and we enjoyed so much of fellowship together. We pray this now in Christ's name. Amen.
Hey, Cisco.
Yeah.
One last comment. I just would encourage our viewers and myself as well. We've been through a lot these last couple of weeks, and it's easy to just quickly move on. I was thinking about, as Steve talked about death. I know sometimes when we lose a parent or a child, and the world moves on, and sometimes that's offensive to us as the one who lost somebody, because our world doesn't move on. But you know, people's lives do continue on, and people quickly forget. And I just think, you know, that right now it's easy to quickly move on from the events that have taken place, you know, over the last couple of weeks. And I just would encourage all of us, you know, to continue, especially for those who are in the camp of being white, to continue to ask our African American brothers and sisters how they're doing, and to continue to ask the questions and listen and continue the dialogues, because for many of them, this is a deep subject, and it's something we need to continue to wrestle with, right? We need to continue to think through, how do we respond? How do we address justice and injustice? And how do we love each other? The gospel calls us to love one another. And it's been neat to see how there's been more and more of that, especially as I've seen our church family interacting with each other online, and trying to listen and understand. But it's just important. So there's lots going on, and it's easy to just be quick to move on. But let's continue to listen, and to have the dialogue, and to ask how people are doing, and keep the conversation going. So.
Good stuff. Thanks for that. Thanks for that reminder. And thanks to all of you for watching. You can continue texting 630-283-7600 RSVP for the Dad's event on Sunday, and any information you need. That text is always working, and we look forward to hearing from you. And we'll see you all on Sunday at your campus for our Dad's Day Drive-In. Thanks, brothers. Always good to hang with you.
Thanks, Cisco. God bless.